Ferrari?
Yeah, it's a Ferrari engine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna make it into a coffee table.
Say again?
I'm gonna make it into a coffee table.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I know, it's a shame.
There's a lot of stuff on this engine, man. There's a lot of bits and bobs. One of my favorite things is tearing into engines, and if you like this channel, then you're probably similar. All right, so the engine is here. I've been waiting for this one for a while. And this isn't just any old engine. This one has actually got a bit of a story behind it. Now, every time a cool engine here arrives at the shop, it's the same kind of feeling. I never quite know what I'm gonna get until I open it up. The pictures that I'm sent don't really tell the full story. Everyone shows its little character, its little marks from having run, from having been removed from the car, the details. And that's really where the beauty lies for me. That's what I do. Sometimes I can't quite believe that I have a certain engine coming in my shop. For example, this one today, a Ferrari 488 twin turbo beast. It's absolutely incredible. It's a work of art already. It makes my part of this very, very easy. Now, it's amazing that this engine came out of a car that people will have dreamed about. Some of them were raced, some of them were pictures on walls and dreams, and now the actual heartbeat of that engine, of that car, is here in my shop. So once this pallet gets opened up, once the engine gets cleaned, broken down, taken apart, the magic begins. We really start to see what it can become, not what it is now. So this is my favorite part of my job. I absolutely love this process. These engines are works of art and I just get to highlight them. So thanks for following. Now let's get this engine in bits. I'm now going to begin the process of turning this 488 Ferrari engine into a stunning coffee table. Now this is a beautiful engine and there's actually absolutely nothing wrong with it. It could go in a car and it could run tomorrow. But I'm going to take it all apart. I'm going to see what it looks like inside and make a coffee table with it. So I don't know about you, but I have never taken a 488 engine apart before. So this is a little new to me. I don't really know what to expect inside. Well, some pistons and a crankshaft and some cams, right? Obviously, but I don't know exactly how it's put together. So it's going to be kind of an exploration. I'm going to begin by just getting off all of the plumbing. So all the air pipes, all the vacuum lines, all the coolant stuff, all the fuel lines. I'm going to get all that off and see what we're looking at. Now, one of my favorite things is tearing into engines. And if you like this channel, then you're probably similar. A lot of used engines come with this. All fluid, all oil and lubricating fluid has been drained, so they don't ship it with oil in it. Don't bolt it in your Ferrari and start it up without putting oil in. Yeah, I just love figuring out how things work. I love engines, so this is the vacuum line. Obviously, these are the vacuum pumps for the camshafts, or run off the camshafts. And that guy, I'm trying not to break anything on this because being Ferrari, yeah, I just don't want to wreck anything unnecessarily. Often, oh my goodness, that goes all the way over to the turbos or mounts. Okay, come back to that. Often if I'm taking apart an engine, I'll just tear it all apart, cut it, everything goes in the bin, but this one I want to be a little bit more careful with. Someone might have some use for some bits. Okay. Not getting very far already, are we? All right, so what I'm going to use is my snap-on cutters. I'm going to use them a lot. And then I also really like these long Allen ball end sockets. I love these things. Now you gotta be a little bit careful because they're easy to round stuff off, especially when you're using a gun with them. But they are very quick and nice. And you can get in lots of different corners because of the ball end on it. Okay. So let's get that coolant line off. Oh, I'm not going to do that yet, actually. Now all the clips and stuff, they're all rubbish, even though they are off a Ferrari. Not the kind of thing you reuse. This guy's clipped on there with a plastic clip. And another one down low. Braking line goes by there. This then goes over yonder. And another one of those funny guys. Okay. This is secondary air injection, so it's just emission stuff for when the engine's cold, to inject air to warm up the cats quicker. Really annoying, unnecessary plumbing and pipe work. Like this sort of stuff, if this leaks, you know, plastic goes brittle over time. You get a crack in that and you get a check engine light with an air leak. It's just annoying, but I guess it saves the trees, so I suppose it's good because we do need trees. So I've just got going on this thing and I'm already a little stumped. Now I can figure out a way, I'm sure, but I've never seen a hose clamp like this before. I've worked on quite a few cars, quite a few different engines, and look at that, it's like strapped around, it like crimps down, but how do you, I don't know how you would tighten that. Is it like a ratchet system kind of in there? I mean, I'm just going to tear this apart with my wire cutters, but they're on every one. Never seen a hose clamp like that before. All right, let's get this thing off. So I reckon if I don't know, how am I meant to do that then? Someone in the comments will tell me. Maybe it's common. Well, it's not common. I know it's not common. What are you talking about, Ben? Common. If it was common, you'd have seen it. All right, let's break this thing apart. So one of the best ways of figuring out how something works is just to break it apart. Yeah, that clamps down on there. And then you can see how it works. Okay. So that does crimp on that. So I don't understand how you tighten that though. Assuming there must be something that broke off it when it gets tightened or something. Like, tightens to a certain amount, then breaks like a shear bolt. Maybe. Call me maybe. All right, look at that. It's already looking prettier on the front. I know, I'm a little too excited about engines. It's just loose. What's that? That was literally just dangling in there. Huh. It's a mount for something. Probably a secondary air pump or something. So this line next, I'm gonna get off. It comes around here, under the intake manifold, loops around onto the back of the thermostat housing there. So I'm gonna zip that guy off, see if I can get that line off. Now for this, I'm gonna use one of my favorite tools. This little ratchet, everyone's gonna laugh at me. I got from Harbor Freight many, many years ago, probably like 10 years ago. And the little floppy head went all loose, but it's such a tight ratchet inside there. I love this little thing. It's like I prefer it to many snap-on ratchets. Gets in all the tight little places really well. There she goes. Love that sound. Got her. Okay, that's good. Drop that down there. Yeah, I bought that ratchet thinking, you know, I'll just use it for a while and buy a new one when it breaks. And it's never broke. I use it so much. Now let's see if this line comes off the back of the thermostat. Oh, it's loose. It's loose. Let's get these clips off. Come on. There it is. Wow, imagine doing that. God, that's annoying. What an annoying thing to replace. In order to get that metal pipe out, got to get this one that's above it out. So that bolt there, that line hopefully will pop out. We'll see how we get along there. I do not want to damage these intake manifolds. They're very expensive and they're going to be an integral part of this build. Although they are going to need a refinish because they're all kind of marked up and stuff. But... Aha! Another thing. Another thing out. Gone. Beautiful. That is the... I don't know. It's all in a foreign language. It must be Greek or something. Alright. It's wiring out the way. Coolant hose is almost on. All right, got it. I'm going to end up with a big old pile of parts, aren't I? Big old pile of hoses and stuff. All right, so the wiring harness is pretty much off. I want to show you this before I do it. This is the crank sensor. So I'm going to leave the plug on the crankshaft sensor and take it off because it's a pain to get to behind here. This is how the crank sensor works. This is the flywheel, right? Which obviously spins around and it has these ridges all on top, which the crank sensor picks up. So that's how the computer knows what position the crankshaft is in. As that spins around, see it's got a long piece of metal there, right? And all the short ones. It knows, picks up when the long one goes by, and then it knows exactly what position the crankshaft is in. So I'm going to take that out right now. If that thing goes bad, it doesn't pick up where your crankshaft is, that will cause a no start. So kind of interesting. So now I'm going to get a chain across the top of this engine so that I can lift it up, get underneath it, and get the wiring off. Probably put it on the bench at this point too. But starting to take shape, starting to look a lot better without all that wiring and stuff on it. So like I said, I'm going to use a M8 bolt. I'm going to put a washer on there just to be on the safe side so that that bolt head doesn't come through the chain. Put that down there, a few threads. It's amazing how strong a thread is, you know. I think we're going to lift the weight of this engine on just a thread here. Just that round part right there, that's all that's going to hold that weight. It's pretty incredible. Look at that bolt has a glob of weld on it, which is weird. Must have been on the table when I was welding or something and wouldn't go in. Okay, back again with another bolt. So make sure we got some slack for the fork of the forklift to go through. Wind that guy in there. I'm going opposite. You know, there's 4 mounting points here that I could use. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go opposite so that the weight is in the middle. To try and keep this engine as stable as possible because we don't want to damage it. Drop it on my toe or anything like that. That wouldn't be good, would it? Okay, let's grab the forklift, see if we can get this thing lifted up. Trusty old forklift this thing is. Make sure we go over that oil filter housing. Man, that turbo. Okay, put our chain on. We are gonna be golden. Okay, according to my calculations, you should go up, up and away. There she is, in all her glory. Let's move this pallet out the way that it was on. Yeah, so I mean, it's hanging on 2 bolts right there, which is really incredible. I probably wouldn't take a nap underneath it, but I don't think it's going anywhere. All right, so I really, while it's up in the air, just need to get this main wiring harness off of the alternator here. 13 mil. Okay. Then I should be able to put it on the bench. Well, essentially go on the other side and get the air compressor wiring off as well. Don't really like working on it like this, but is what it is. Let's get the wiring off this side real quick. Because then we can pop this thing straight on the bench and start thinking about getting the heads off, and the turbos, and all of that good stuff. Come around here, look. You can see this is the alternator. There's a big power. Just want to get this done, really. We've almost got all the wiring off the bottom of the engine. You beauty! She's on. If I drop that forwards, oh, the bench went down a bit. Not the strongest of benches. Now that is pretty heavy, but it's on a beam on the bench, and underneath it is an engine, so I think it'll be all right. Let's carry on tearing this thing apart. Intake's already off, wiring harness is off. I'm gonna start with the turbos, all these heat shields, all these lines, and then we'll get into the valve covers, heads, block, crankshaft, pistons, bottom end of it. Excited to get torn into this thing. Okay, intake manifold removed. That is a beautiful intake manifold. And Ferrari do that red wrinkle finish on it. So I'm gonna have to redo that to make this table pretty, but that's gonna be a nice highlight feature of this table. So I got my trusty box here, Ferrari 488, because I don't want to lose all my nuts and bolts for this thing. I want to keep them all safe. That right there is called a banjo bolt, so oil can come up the center of the bolt, or come up in through the sides, and then down through the center of the bolt. That's an oil feed for the turbo. Pretty cool little thing. Now if one of those gets blocked, you know, big problems. All right, turbo. Look at that beauty. Still gonna take that all apart because I'm gonna powder coat all the different bits, different colors. But we have turbo number unos off. Very good. That. This is being a pain. I've got this bolt out, sort of. And I'm not quite sure how this whole setup works. There's threads in this end, and then it like goes tight when you get the bolt out. Try and do this with one hand. Oh, that's how you strip a bolt. Okay. All right. Don't put that in. That was embarrassing. Try and do it with one hand. That is a strange arrangement. Maybe I'll just take it off the head itself instead of getting these out. See if I can get this whole manifold off the engine in one piece with that bracket on it and take it off on the bench. Off with the manifold. Oh, look at that. That is going to look lovely. Now we have a little bit of a problem. I made it worse, but this Allen head right here is completely rounded off, as you can see. That's not good. So I'm gonna have to try a couple little tricks and see if I can get that guy out of the turbo. First one I'm gonna try is an extractor, an external extractor. You can see inside the end of that socket. That's a grippy guy. So you get that on there. And hopefully that'll grip the outside of that bolt head and remove it. It appears to have worked. You see the marks on that? Where it gripped it? Now it's loose. Turbo number 2. Look at that. Ferrari. Yeah. Oh. Oh no. It's leaking all over the table. I wasn't expecting that. Ah. She is now turboless, manifoldless. I'm gonna get all these electrics now. All these little brackets, coils, sensors, fuel rail. Let's get all this mess off. I might put them back in the engine. What do you think? They look good in a coffee table? Not sure. Camshaft, the clock. Yeah. Now here's a fun little trick. If you're really good, you can make the air gun sound like a Ferrari. You've got to put a nice socket on the end of it that you can grab hold of. Now don't grab hold of it too hard and pull it because you'll hurt your hand, but give it a little resistance, get a little idle going. Okay, that was a fail. Try again. Around. Stupid. All right, now we've got to look at getting this front cover off, or the back cover, which I need to take the flywheel off first, I believe. And then there's all these bolts inside, nuts inside here. And I think this is going to separate off the back. Let's see what we can come up with. All right, 10mm 12-point socket. These guys are going to be pretty tight, I reckon. There she is, flywheel. Pressure on it. Nope. Look at that. One engine cover. Wow, look. They put the prancing horse on it there, on the inside of the engine cover. That's interesting. Man, that would make a nice art piece all by itself, wouldn't it? Look at that. Stunning. Now we come to the simple part of the engine. Just joking. Now, it almost feels criminal to take this thing apart because there's nothing wrong with this engine. Like, it ran absolutely fine. Once I take all this apart, I mean, you'd want to be timing this, setting this all up before you just tear this apart, but coffee table it is, so here we go. Okay, so next I'm going to take the camshafts off, the pulleys off, because if I take all these chains off first, then they're just going to spin, and I don't want that. That one's left-hand thread, which means that you turn it right to loosen it. Left tightens it, right loosens it. Backwards of a regular thread. And the reason that they do that, a left-hand thread, is because of the way it's spinning, so it doesn't loosen itself as the engine runs. So this has a spring inside, and it pushes down the tensioner, which keeps the chain tight. There's the spring. That's the spring, goes inside there. And it's oil pressure regulated to keep pressure on the chain. Chain number 1, or number 2. Chain. This needs to come off. It's on this mount here, so I need to spin this engine over. So that I can get to those. Oh, I can't get to those bolts. Okay. I might then instead need to get the Allen that's deep inside there, so I can get this bottom pulley off, and then it'll come off. Because I can't get to these bolt heads with this on. Oh, maybe I can. All right, plan B is get that. Pull that out, get the socket in there. Plan C is cut this chain, which is obviously not how you do it at the factory, but it would work for the purposes of today. So deep inside there was just a brass plug. I just saw this little Allen in there. So undo that and see what happens. I'm a little confused. I was expecting that to be a bolt that goes all the way to the crankshaft, which hold this pulley on, but obviously isn't. And I can't imagine that this little Allen key holds that crank on, that crank pulley on. It's a mystery. There she goes. Okay, we're looking really good here now. Now all the chains are off, so this is where the head meets the block. That all could come out after. I think I'm about ready to take the valve covers off and then take the heads off. Oh, fuel pump. Fuel pump follower is in there. Valve cover. Camshaft. Beautiful. That's the fuel pump follower. That's the bit that pushes on the fuel pump. And the camshaft. Those are beautiful cams. Look at those. Stunning. Got the followers. All relatively similar to this engine. Okay, so this is a bit of a disaster. I don't have the socket to get these head nuts off. I'm going to try and figure out a solution. Oops. Okay, I think I have a solution. What I did is I got a 13mm spanner, right, which would obviously fit on a 13mm Allen. Went through my nuts and bolts drawer, and I've got these cylinder head bolt. I don't know if they're cylinder head bolts. No, they're not. I don't know. Fancy bolts. And I remember they came off a Mercedes. They are 13mm head with a toughened, with a hardened body. So they should be pretty strong bolts. Now, as that has a 13mm head, right, it's obviously like an Allen, that should, yeah, lovely. It's on there nice and secure. All right, we're on the way to a solution. Now I need a way to turn that, so I'm gonna weld a nut or something onto this bolt, something I can grab, so that I've basically made myself a socket. In theory, it's gonna work. We'll see. All right, so here I have my Allen bolt, which I'm gonna put in there just to hold it upright. And this doesn't even have to be particularly straight, to be honest with you. I just gotta be able to turn this thing. So I'm gonna put that nut on there. Ground my welder. I think this is gonna work. Great, my welding helmet battery died. You see that flashing? See that flash? That means the battery's dead. Okay, I'm going to come back to you guys. some days, just the way it goes. All right, so I have my socket. My homemade Allen socket accepts a 19mm. So see how we get along here. I'm doing these head nuts. Feels like my weld's gonna break. Oh look, just twisting the bolt. Yeah, bolt's twisted. It's just twisting right here. So the idea worked, but it's not a strong enough bolt. Back to the drawing board then. Let's find a stronger bolt with a 13mm head. All right, let's see if this is any better. I hope. I hope. Oh, I'm gonna get a short socket. This socket's too deep, and my little homemade thing is falling inside it, so I'll get a short socket. See if I use that as an extension. That should hold it on the head bolt nut. Easier. Got it. Yes. Woo! Oh. Cut myself though. Look at that. It's like a piece of skin. Woohoo! When I slipped, I ripped my arm along the head there. All right. That's the winning socket then. I wonder if this is strong enough to take a gun impact. Otherwise, I'm gonna have no arm left. Okay, is this gonna work? Well, that one I already started. See how strong it is. Don't know if it's strong enough. Yes, worked. Beautiful. So this whole cylinder head removal has been a bit of a pain. The 13mm Allen head sockets, which I can't believe I don't have a 13mm Allen in my tool collection. I guess it's not that common. Led me to make multiple different tools to do it with, which led to the tool I made snapping a cylinder head bolt. So basically I welded this to a cylinder head bolt, welded a nut to it, and these were so tight, these head nuts, that the nut broke on me, which caused me to get my arm on the really sharp cylinder head. This has not been fantastic, I'm not gonna lie. Here we are now with the next solution. I have a 1/2 inch Allen, which I think might work. It's just a little bit loose, but I think it's gonna be good enough. If I get the air gun on that, I think we're gonna be able to pop those guys out. So I'm gonna give that a try. If that doesn't work, then I think I'm gonna go home and come back tomorrow. Okay, so let's give this a shot. We've got the Allen socket on there. Oh, it comes right out. I'm going to try that in the beginning. Beauty. Now we get to remove the cylinder head, but it's not going because there's more Allens in there. So we've got to get those Allens out the middle. There's 3 more, I reckon. Let's do this. Let's be happy. There she goes. This one's still on. Sorry that you're jaded. Now if that doesn't come off, I'll eat my hat. Haha. Cylinder head removed. Knew I could do it. Here is the head gasket. These are obviously the top of the pistons. Wow, they are pretty pistons, aren't they? Look at those beauties. Okay. Head gasket. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side now. So I've got this one bank off. I'm gonna get this head off, which is this valve cover, all those bolts. I'm gonna put some music on and I'll show you when it's done. So the Ferrari engine teardown is now complete. I've got all the parts laid out here on the table. I've got the turbos, exhaust manifolds, bottom half of the engine, intake, engine block, pistons and rods, crankshaft, camshaft, flywheel, cam covers, timing cover, cylinder heads, oil cooler. Everything is lined up, ready to be cleaned. Thank you for watching this video. If you are enjoying the channel, please subscribe, and I'm going to continue filming what I'm working on. See you next time.